what sort of ratio do you estimate that when you talk to people day in and day out that are totally happy that vacating to Thailand was the best thing or one of the best things they've ever done, to the opposite of like, because I had one guest on here, Mike, and he says he's never heard no one come to Thailand and say, wow, I wish I never bothered.
I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to say, I wondering where you're going with that question then, because I'm you know, I was trying to rack my brains who's coming in. There is coming people who have failed, don't get me wrong, but they've had to move, you know, because of the situation. Not that they wanted to. Some people might get burnt, you know, by, you know, anybody who gets burnt, then it's your own fault, really, you know.
Business females.
No, females.
Yeah.
Females. You know, say for example, you've just retired and you've got a nice nest egg. The last time you met a girl, and come on, it happens. This sort of happens. Would not put anybody off having a relationship, because Thai women are amazing, but just always be careful, you know. Always be careful. But yeah, people who come here to retire and to live here, the only thing they might get jaded with is sort of living. I know people who've moved to up north, or moved to Hin, or moved to Phuket, or, you know, Bang Saray, somewhere close by, like Irish Party moved to Bang Saray. I think now he's in Sriracha. But nobody regrets it. If you know, Pat, example, he's just gone back to Ireland for a couple of weeks, and he's like, I can't wait to get back. So it's like, Pat, it's only 2 weeks.
5 days. 5 days I went back home to England, and I was looking forward to coming back.
Yeah, you know, the first 48 hours are pretty good, because you meet people and that. And then after that, it's like, the last time I was back, it's like £6 a pint.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was 9:30, and the lady's going, can you, last orders were closing. I'm like, it's fucking 9:30. What are you talking about? I'm just going out and retire.
£50 a massage, £45 a massage. Now you'd get literally about 20 hours in Thailand, maybe more.
Yeah.
Depending on where you go.
I mean, I just did my last video, if you saw it, was a massage video. Really good video, actually. And that was about $28. But that was the full works. It was your nails, ears, everything. That in the UK would be over 100 quid. So yeah, everything's much cheaper here, and it is. But that being said, it can be expensive to, you know, depends on what kind of life you want to live here. You can live, you know, people say, how much do I need to live on? It's like, it's a loaded question. Well, how are you going to live? How do you want to live?
Yes.
If you want to live like a king, then you're going to need a lot of money. If you're going to live, you know, but you can live on a cheaper budget. But I would suggest that not on a too low a budget, because you just become miserable, and then you start attacking people like me.
Oh yeah. Well, like my rent's like about £250, and then my electric, it's no more than £300 anyway.
Yeah,
a month. That's a swimming pool, gym, sauna there. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I own my own place, so which was I got slagged off 4 years ago, but it was a good move, because in the lockdowns I had 2 rents to pay on the bars.
Yeah.
And if I'd have to pay a rent on I'd have been screwed. I'd have been gone. But I had no rent to pay because I own it. So that was a very good move quite a few years ago.
So when you I've got a little bit lost for questions. So what's some of your like most memorable like YouTube moments, or like moments with like fans?
Oh, I hate using that word, fans, because I look at them as friends. No, I do. I think what do they call it in Thailand? They call it FC's fan club.
Okay.
That's one of the times going, you're FC Nick. Football club. What are you talking about? But no, I look at them as friends. Or subscribers, whichever you want to talk. Basically, some of the nights we put on, some of the most memorable nights, and you know, it's hard to think at the moment. But you know, I'll just give you an example. Like last month, we went to Phnom Penh in Cambodia. There was like 12 of us went, and we had 15 of us turned up, and we had a party in a bar, and it was just absolutely electric. And everybody who went is never going to forget that night. but we've done many things like this. You know, look, at the end of the day, it's all about a bit of fun as well. Yeah, we've got to have a bit of fun. Can't do it every night, but we have a bit of fun. That's why we're here. You know, we sort of go back to the word hedonistic. You know, we're being hedonistic. We are enjoying ourselves.
Yes.
We've got to enjoy yourself while we can. Look, we're getting. I mean, I'm 55. What have we got? Another 10 or 15 years of really enjoying myself, if I'm lucky. Obviously, you've got to tone that down.
I like to be on the scale of the optimism and delusional side. You got another 100 years left.
I doubt it, but actually, I wouldn't want that if I was going to. It depends. To me, I'm looking at life as being able-bodied.
Okay.
You know, if you're not able-bodied, then I'm just thinking, well, what's the point? You know, I like to go out and I like to travel. So yeah, we've just been in. Where were we? Oh, Bangkok. This was an absolutely brilliant night as well. So we do these memorable things every now and again. I mean, I remember the very first party, meet night I held, which is on Soy Bacau. We used to be a place called Extra Bar. That was memorable. That was because I think I got 3,000 followers at the time, and we were like, okay, let's put a night on. Let's just see. It was absolutely packed, and what a night! And there was no women, but it didn't need any women.
Okay.
It was just. It was a bit like, it was just a bit of a football thing, really. Not football, but, you know, lads enjoying themselves being. But that was a memorable night as well.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of them. There's hundreds of nights where I could think that are memorable. But this hasn't ended. We've got to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing it. You know, we put the odd nights. Everybody knows my party nights are pretty famous. They're pretty good, yeah, because I fucking party as well.
Yeah. I'll have to come down one of the nights, man.
I party, and that's why I come back to you've got to be there yourself as well. Not all the time, but sometimes you have to.
Let's talk about like your travel and like what's the other country that you'd live in if Thailand wasn't available?
That's a hard question, but at the moment, I am kind of liking Cambodia. It just seems to have that bit of a raw edge to it that Thailand had probably 30 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's modern. Don't get me wrong. It's modern. The capital, Phnom Penh, is very modern, but it's got that raw edge to it. You know, a bit Wild West.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like.
When you say Wild West, could you go a little bit deeper into that?
Things are easier. Business is easier.
Yeah.
Business it seems easier. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you look at I consider myself an entrepreneur, which I've always done. People like me have been pushed out of the UK because of taxation, regulation. It's like as if it's just left for the corporations now, and the little man can't make it anymore. That's what they want, isn't it? This is what true fascism is, when the corporations take over.